So guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to this holiday vlog. I guess this is going to be the intro. We have pretty much just arrived in Miami and I'm going for a trip with my family for about a week, cruising around the Caribbean, which is really cool and exciting. And the kind of theme, I guess, of this vlog is going to be like bodybuilders living their life, bodybuilders abroad, something along those lines, like how to make sure that you're not missing out on these sort of things, but like realizing how you can also make them part of your lifestyle. I think that's a big thing that I stand for at Revive Stronger, and what we stand for is making sure bodybuilding doesn't take over your life, but complements your lifestyle. And so, yeah, maybe I'll get some sessions in on the ship that you'll be able to see, and see some of the food and how I'm kind of navigating that, because it isn't an on and off switch. It's very much a dimmer switch where, yeah, I'm not gonna have my food scale and weighing out every detail, but I can still be very close to as on point as I need to, given the context of where I am. And this is kind of like a very rare occasion for me to be on a holiday, let alone with family and everything on a cruise ship. So yeah, that's where everything is. Obviously yesterday we just flew in, and yeah, I'm not a fan of flying, so didn't really want to film any of that. And yeah, I'll just get little bits and pieces along the way and take you through it. Charlotte, where are we?
We are just about to embark on the
embarkation
on the ship, not boat.
Yes. So this is the room. We have actually got a balcony, which is nice because you can have inside rooms. And this is the balcony view at the moment, although we're not at sea yet. Well, we are at sea, but I mean we haven't left, so not too much to really say there. And what's the bathroom like? So actually, as a room, it's fine, like a small Travelodge kind of deal. And then, oh yeah, little shower. Yeah, so the rooms aren't really spectacular, but it's all right. It'll do. I don't think we'll spend that much time in here anyway. And we went at the buffet earlier. I showed you one plate, but brought back some cookies and some fruit. And Charlotte got this vegan dessert specially made for her. Oh my gosh, whoops. And they give her 5 of these. And it took about an hour for that to arrive, so definitely taking it home. Home? This is home now.
I know, cause everything's going our way today, and we're here to celebrate, yeah. And I've been dreaming of a day like this. I got my camera, gonna capture all of it. Strike a pose and take a pic, cause when we're old I wanna look back and think this is the life. This is the life.
So this has been our first official day on the cruise, and we're just at sea today. So tomorrow we're going to the Dominican Republic, and today was just about probably catching up on some sleep, to be honest. It was a bit weird sleeping because it's a big ship, but you still feel the movements. So it was still a bit weird, and the worst thing was like the small creaks that happen in the room. So like you can get used to the kind of slight movement of the bed, but like the small creaks were a bit annoying. But anyway, I think we'll get used to that as well, and that will get better. So up a bit later, got breakfast, and man, when you're eating buffet breakfast, lunch, you could also do it dinner. And like there is burgers, like hot dogs, chips, like everything you could think of highly processed palatable foods that you could ever want is available. Cookies, like infinite amounts, you can have it all. So much choice, which is why buffets are dangerous in some form for a lot of people, because that's one of the ways to encourage overeating, is having a lot of variety and choice, because you don't recognize fullness as much. Kind of part of satiety is like if you have the same food over and over again, you don't want to eat that much of it. But if you have a lot of choice, it makes it easier. But I think we've kind of got a system that will probably work for us a bit better now, is where we have like maybe a bigger breakfast, light lunch, and then have dinner later. But for me, I'm used to like having 5 meals a day, and then condensing that into 3 means they have to be quite big meals, and I'm just like struggling. And I'll probably have like some clips and videos of the various meals and food that I've been having. But today was proper bro, tilapia, rice and veggies for lunch, which is great. And yeah, talk to you in a bit. Here we have breakfast number 1, bit of a random show of food. Yours is less random. Excited for it though. Excited.
Yes, I am excited, sorry.
And we have a seaside, or sea view rather, seaside view. So I've got baked beans, hash browns, smoked salmon, some mushrooms, some chicken, 2 eggs, 2 sourdough rolls, some tomatoes. So we have just got off at our first port. Where are we, Charlotte?
Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic. And we don't have any, like, you can purchase excursions or whatever activities to do. We don't have any of that, so we're just gonna go for a wander.
It wasn't always like this, but I wouldn't.
Hello, Charlotte. We're on a bus to Charlotte. What's the last part of that? Charlotte. I always get that wrong. Charlotte knows. We're getting a nice view over St. Thomas. We're in a, what's this called, a sky ride?
A gondola.
That was kind of worrisome in terms of the noise. Oh, that's a good view though. Wow. You can see the cruise ship back over there. And that's just part of the ride.
Trade the bad for all the good times that we had. It's all the same in my mind. I always dreamed of a day like this. I get my camera, gonna capture all of it. Strike a pose and take a pic. Cause when we're old, I wanna look back and think this is the life. This is the life.
So currently we are walking, and where are we, Charlotte? We are St. Kitts today. Sorry, it's very windy, and in typical fashion we are very lost. We're not actually lost, we kind of have a map, but we just go off piste and think it's going to be fine, and then realise it's very hot, and it's a lot of walking up hills and not really knowing where we're going without any water. And yeah, we probably should have just got a taxi, but hopefully when I next do a video, we'll be somewhere that I can show you that's of interest, and we'll be happy and we'll get a taxi back.
This is the life. I'm loving this energy like it was meant to be.
So this is what most of my lunches have looked like, basically, where I've got some veggies, potatoes, and some grilled fish. I'm not a big eater of fish, but most of the other meats here are breaded or oily or a type of meat that I won't want to eat. And so it's one of the better lean protein sources. These chips are actually very nice, and everything's actually really tasty, to be honest. I'll also eat maybe some fruit and have some sort of cookie or something afterwards. This is potato.
No, that's potato.
This is cabbage.
I know that's potato, I've got it. I think if I got that much cabbage.
Fireworks in the sky, making googly eyes, and I'm also surprised. My face is frozen, never seen this before. It's shaking me to the core. Looking back, I was bored. Now my mind it be blowing. I'm like, ooh, ah, jaw drop, so good, I can't stop. Ooh, I gotta watch, so good. I'm thinking, wow.
I'm just going to do a really brief voiceover here because this transition was a little off or weird. This is a casino on the ship. I saw it in the day and it was dead. I was like, why did they even bother having this here? And it was just wildly busy in the evening, as you can see. So we just had our dinner, didn't we, Charlotte?
We did.
And what was that? I had some like shredded chicken with cheese on top as a dip, and some, what are they called?
Tortilla chips.
Tortilla chips. I always forget what they're called. I'm like, they're called Doritos. They're called tortilla chips.
Yeah.
And then I had salmon, which I had last night as well. And then for
salmon, though.
it was a different salmon. And then we had the vegan brownie, which was really good. So that was dinner. I should have actually captured it. And now we're waiting for a show. You can talk.
Can you hear things not moving?
As I'm just lying here waiting for Charlotte, I thought I'd let you guys know how I've been approaching kind of the gym and my mornings in general, because I think that's interesting as part of this vlog. Is essentially I've been waking up and going straight to the gym. I try and get a bit hydrated before going, so I have like a couple of glasses of water and do that. But essentially do that. Have been getting Powerade. We got this like soda package. For those of you who have been on cruises probably know there's like various drinks packages you can get. So I'd be filling up with a couple of those. So I'd get like 700 to 900 mils of Powerade and be having that during the workout. I'm trying to sip on it actually quite aggressively at the start so I kind of get that in. This morning I didn't actually do that. I was due probably a rest day today because I've trained 6 days, but today's the 7th. But the workout's been shorter. Failure's been weird. I haven't been able to like grind out reps as much, and I've just been doing it a little bit quicker, so rest times have been shorter. So yeah, maybe the quality of each set hasn't been as high as what it would be if I was at home. So I just think like maybe that's a little bit less volume I've been doing. So yeah, anyway, I felt recovered, so I just got in a workout this morning as well. So generally would have that Powerade, and then as I get back, if I had a sachet I'd show you, but I have these CMP sachets with their peptide protein, and I just have one of those once I get back, which has a good hit of protein. I can't remember exactly, but 65 grams of powder, so it's like 40 to 50 grams of protein in that, which is great because there's only 3 other meals in the day, so it really allows me to get my protein nice and high early on. And then we basically make our way to breakfast once we're ready and head out. Yesterday we actually missed a lunch, so came back and they have this little cafe on the promenade, and I should have recorded this, but their pizza available. Unfortunately nothing vegan for Charlotte, but I managed to get a couple of slices of pizza and like a little sandwich. It's actually really good. I was impressed.
I need it now. Got that wow factor, also blown away now. Swagger, yeah, it's here to stay. Wow, 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 wow. Hit me like a triple caffeine kicking. Am I on fire or am I just tripping? Doesn't really matter cause I keep on sipping. That new polar bear plunge, I'm so refreshed. Turning these no's into yes, yes, yes. My sister sent me that Rush Express. Cause I'm thinking, wow, I need it now.
So again, I thought I'd just do a voiceover of some of the training that I did on the ship. I think I only have clips of me doing legs. I'm not entirely sure why. I couldn't get my tripod out and start filming my training whilst I was on the ship. You'll see me doing some goblet squats, which I was reminded why I would never recommend these to anyone who's got any good amount of strength. They're a good teaching tool, I think, for the squat, because it makes it quite comfortable to get into a deep squat. But it's very challenging when you're using any sort of a load to really use this lift without something else other than your quads being the limiting factor. Thankfully, these were done after I'd already done a bunch of other quad movements. So I kind of hit failure, but as I think I spoke as I was lying there on the bed, it was like I'd hit failure and it kind of come out of nowhere, and I think it was due to like slight shifts in the ship, and so I just kind of like whatever changed there made the resistance far more challenging, and I kind of just like hit failure there. My sessions on the ship were fine, but they definitely weren't as productive, and I can say this now I've been back training at home, nowhere near as productive as training at home. I was obviously trying to get through the sessions a little bit more quickly and stuff like this, but I did the best that I could under the conditions I was in, being on holiday and being on this ship. And honestly, there were some days where I was like, am I going to go to the gym? And I was like, yeah, why not? I kind of feel like it. and it was sort of dead time in the day because it was time Charlotte was getting up and getting ready, and I like going to the gym. It kind of sets up the day nicely, and so all in all, I'm pretty satisfied with the sessions I managed to get there. So yeah, obviously I was doing my goblet squats, I did dumbbell Bulgarian split squats, and I was trying to use the leg extension pad because I injured my foot on like the first day trying to use one of these benches, and yeah, my foot was irritated after that, so I tried to use something else and it seemed to feel better because it's curved versus flat, and that worked quite nicely. And then yeah, just trying to get some sissy squats done, and I was just really aiming to take everything to like failure, 0 RER, anywhere 2 RER or less, because I was just trying to be efficient. I wasn't doing a ton of volume, and get these done. Now, they had this Cybex Bravo, and I had a number of people comment actually on Instagram being like, what the hell? Why have they got this? Because it's a piece of equipment that a lot of people would desire, because it has this nice pad that comes out, which you can see I'm braced against to get these ab crunches done. And then the Cybex cables actually allow for a little bit more manipulation of angle due to, as you can see, it has this kind of rotation inwards, like I've rotated them in the cables there, and you can rotate them in different positions, allow for different angles, so it's pretty cool. But it's very light, and apparently that's usual for the Bravo cable stack, so there were some movements I just couldn't do there. I can't remember what the weight was that the ship went up to, maybe 75 pounds, wasn't overly heavy, put it that way, so I was kind of just going through these until I couldn't really do them anymore, and yeah, just trying to get a big stretch on the hamstrings, and I think I ended up, I was just trying to really fatigue the hamstrings, like nice slow eccentrics, or if they even sped up, I was just like, I'm just going to continue to do reps until I feel like I can't anymore, and try and make sure that the hamstring was the limiting factor there, and come nice and deep for a big stretch. So yeah, I was just making the best under the conditions I was in. Again, because the ship sometimes was moving around, I'd feel a little bit like, oh, that felt a bit funny, and you maybe see me slow down, and then I could go for another one, and I'm like, oh, now the ship's in a different position, it felt a bit better. It might sound like the ship was really waving, as you can see here via the video footage. It's not like we're in a storm and it's kind of moving a lot. You could just feel it now and then. Like you might be walking around the ship, and if it was particularly bad, you might just like lose your footing a little bit, or be like, oh, now I'm having to walk, and it feels harder to walk forward than it did previously because of the shift of the ship and gravity and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, the sessions were fine. I didn't expect anything much more than what I was able to do there. And the thing is, when like the lockdowns happened due to COVID, we all learned how to make the best out of the conditions that we were under in terms of equipment. So even if there was less equipment than what they had, it'd have been fine. I've been able to get something done. But yeah, overall, pretty well equipped, as you can see. Something I'm conscious of whilst on board the ship is steps, because I know what my normal steps are, and that is a large contributor to my total calorie burn for the day, for which I hit near enough 10k. Sorry, it's pretty loud, there's a movie playing here, and it's actually really windy, so I don't know if this audio is going to be good enough. But they have this handy track here which I've been walking around, and me and Charlotte have been doing laps around to just get those steps up to where they normally would be. Because if I didn't have that awareness, then my steps would be abysmally low, especially on sea days when you're just able to basically get barely any in. So I didn't manage to like close out the video during the vlog. I think the steps you saw me taking there were like on our last night. And then obviously the next day we were traveling. We got a little bit delayed coming home. Miami weather, normally nice in Miami, right? It wasn't nice. It was pouring, and that meant we were delayed. But thankfully nothing cancelled. And like I said at the start, I don't like traveling. And so I didn't want to record any of that. And so just in closing, I've now been back a couple of weeks. First week back into training, felt a bit rusty, performance is a bit down. I would say also recovery was a little bit down. I couldn't, especially for legs, I wasn't used to doing such heavy loading. And but very productive. And since the next week after that, much more productive. Strength back to usual, if not the best it's been, and feeling good. Weight, I lost 4 pounds on returning. That weight has taken 2 weeks to come back, so I'm now hitting kind of the usual highs I was before I was going. So I'm back up to where I left after a couple of weeks. And this is just, I guess, actually a good point to end on. With these holidays and vacations, you're not going to be quote unquote optimal. That's why we don't like vacation all the time and go on holiday for the best bodybuilding gains, right? You want to be in your usual environment, usual foods, be able to like track, monitor, whatever you need to be doing to be able to get the most from things. Hopefully you couldn't hear that, but my phone was going off as I was recording because my partner just called me Charlotte. And anyway, where was I? So I think I was saying how basically everything comes back. It's not optimal to be on holiday. You're not going to make the best gains possible, but it's worth it to have a holiday now and then. Even if I hadn't trained that entire week, it would have been fine. It's 1 week out of the year, right? And I think the problem happens when people use every excuse to not be on point. Oh, it's my partner's like best friend's boyfriend's like birthday, like this very arbitrary link to someone else, and that's somehow a reason not to be on point or not to go to the gym or whatever it might be, or to drink, not get good sleep, these sort of things. But if you just very sparingly are somewhat less on point, so you're like, use this dimmer switch analogy, you are more dim, you're on vacation, right? But you're not completely off track. I wasn't eating like an arsehole. I wasn't not going to the gym, even though there was one there and I could go train and I felt good too. These sort of things. For people like us, I think us talking about very dedicated individuals watching this, like we have to actually get better at using our dimmer switch and not trying to be on all the time, because I've been there and it was not fun. I ended up taking Tupperware to like my cousins and not eating their food and thinking that I needed to do that. But in fact, I just was being unaware and undereducated of how I could flex in certain scenarios. So hopefully this has been kind of useful to see me on holiday, and maybe just fun and interesting to see what a cruise is like. It was a great time, and I'm going to be making the best progress yet now on the other side. There are upsides to also vacation in terms of the kind of recovery you get, physical and mental. So guys, thank you for tuning in as always. And I mean, holidays are something that we manage with our clients as well, and that can look multifaceted if you're in prep or a photo shoot versus off season, or if you're just someone who is just a different individual, and we have scenarios or we have tools at our disposal to be able to make the best use out of that time and make sure that it doesn't set you back a million miles, but also it's fun, stress-free, and enjoyable, So we help our clients with this too. If you do want to learn more about our coaching, it's always linked in the bio. That's what we do here at Revive Stronger. That's what I spend most of my day doing, is coaching people. So on that note, guys, thank you so much. Talk to you soon.